Hello everyone. Hope everyone is doing well, and I'm back with my another session for the PT. So as you all know that I come here time by time and I just try to give you so many ideas regarding what exactly the PT is and how we can do better in PT. And there are different modules that we talk on every time that I come live. So, guys, if you have any questions or if you really want to know more about PT, so please do leave a comment here. And if you feel like that, if your friends or someone in your circle is giving PT really, really soon, so please share my videos with them. So today we are talking again about reading section. So last time I've spoken about reading section in detail. I was talking about more sort of a grammar things and stuff, because this is a very, very important topic when it comes to the reading section. Your grammar plays a vital role, right? So that is very essential, that if you really want to go best in your PT reading section especially, please improve your vocabs. Your grammar section is very, very important. I Before I start today, I will be explaining you guys about what exactly or how exactly they divide their points in their reading section. So as you all know that the point the point system in PT is more sort of, you can say that it is an integrated process. It is not something like an IELTS. In IELTS you only get your points for your speaking section in from your speaking task, in reading section from your reading task, and from your other sections you get the respective points from your respective tasks itself. So what does that mean is, like, for example, if you are doing a read aloud which comes under speaking section, you get only marks in your speaking section, but it is not the case in your PT. In PT, one task, if it belongs to your speaking section, that task can contribute their points in maybe the reading section as well, or maybe in the listening section as well. So there is a mix. You can say that it's a mix and match of that sort of pointing that we are expecting from them to divide. So for example, speaking section is in speaking section there is a task that is called read aloud. That task is giving you 25 points out of 90. They are probably giving you 25 points in your reading section. So can you guys see that how big that read aloud is impacting, or how much it is affecting your reading section, whereas this task comes under speaking section. Hope I'm making I'm successful in making my point here, because that is a very important thing to understand. Next thing, summarize spoken text, which comes again under listening section. Summarize spoken text, that comes under listening section, and it gives you 5 points in your reading section as well. Reading blanks, drag and drop. There are two kinds of fill in the blanks, and then there are two kinds of multiple choice questions that comes in your reading section. So you guys have to understand that part, that reading blanks, we also call it drag and drop. Drag and drop gives you 19 points in your reading section. So that is again very, very important. Okay. Reading and writing, that is a fill in the blanks, and we also call it drop down. And we also call it reading and writing fill in the blanks. Okay. It also gives you 19 marks in your reading section. That is reading task itself. So it gives you good marks in reading section itself, right? Excuse me. There is another important question that comes under your reading section, that is a reorder paragraph, which we will be talking about reorder paragraph a lot in today's in today's live session, because that is very, very important one. And there's some tricks and tips and tricks that you can learn easily, right? reading, as I told you, multiple choice single answers and multiple choice multiple answers, they are not so important. So when I'm saying not so important, that means that you should not also be wasting a lot of time in thinking, or maybe just try to think about the correct answer and stuff, only because that it gives you either 1 point or 2 points in your reading section, not more than 2 points. So then that means there is no point of wasting a lot of time in your reading section. While you are doing your reading section, and you just come across multiple choice single or multiple choice multiple answers, please do not waste a lot of time. Okay. Highlight incorrect words, which comes under listening section, and highlight correct words, that also comes under your listening section. So these two again give you a lot of marks in your reading section. So incorrect word is something that gives you 9 points, and if you are talking about highlight correct words, missing words, then it gives you 2 points in your reading section. So then again, this is very very important thing to understand, right? Let's talk more about fill in the blanks and reorder paragraphs today. Last time when we were talking about fill in the blanks, as I told you before as well, grammar, collocations, and vocabulary, these three things are the most important part. And again, when I'm talking about grammar, that means you have to know all the tenses, verbs, and their forms and stuff like that. Now today the main topic I would be talking about is reorder paragraph. What is reorder paragraph? Reorder paragraph means that you will be given 4 to 5 or maybe sometimes 6 sentences as well, and then you have to reorder that which sentence should come first, and then what should come next, and then what next, and what next, right? So there are some tricks and techniques that you guys need to learn while you are solving your reorder paragraphs. But before even that, I would like you guys to understand what are the marking criteria for that. The marking criteria for that is something that how we used to do, like sets chapter in our maths. So for example, if there is an answer, a b c d e, so the answer is a b c d e. For example, if we are just saying our first sentence as an a, second sentence b, third sentence c, fourth sentence D, and the fifth sentence is E. If we are doing that, so if we are saying that, okay, my answer is A, B, C, D, E. Now, if someone has said that maybe the answer is A, B, D, C, E. So there is just one pair which is correct. A and B is correct. You get marks for that. For example, if your two pairs are correct, like for example AB and DE, right? So if your two pairs are correct, you get 2 points out of that. For example, if all your pairs are correct, that means your all sets are correct. When your all sets are correct, you get, you get your mark for AB, BC, CD, and DE. Plus, you get your bonus point as well as a bonus, right? So you get 5 points if your all answers are correct. There is no negative marking in this question, so which is a really really good part. So if you do not do it all correct, that's perfectly fine as well. You have nothing to lose. But of course, yet again, what we are here for, we really want our full marks, and we want a 90 out of 90 in all the modules. So that is why I'm here for today. And what I'll be doing is I'll be giving you some tips and strategies how to solve your reorder paragraph. Okay, so when we are saying a reorder paragraph, you really need to read through all your sentences first of all. That is very very important. You have to read through all your sentences, and you need to find out that which is an independent sentence. What is an independent sentence? A sentence which introduces the topic, can stand out by itself, and is not dependent on any other sentence for any kind of information. For example, if I'm saying that for example, if I just say that apple is a fruit, and then I say it is very sweet, and then I say that I like to cut it into the pieces before I eat. um and then if there is a sentence, then that there is a high amount of apples that grow in maybe Australia, right? So there are, like, there are certain sentences that I have just made in front of you. Now, what is an independent sentence? Independent sentence is like apple isn't fruit, where I'm introducing something. This sentence is not dependent on any other sentence. It is an independent sentence. It is an introduction of something, and then you can see that, yeah, yes, I can just merge other sentences into that sentence. So that is basically your independent sentence, and this can be your first sentence, right? You can always put these kind of sentences on the very first. How to identify, I've already spoken about that you need to see that if there is a sentence will give a general idea or will introduce the topic, it will mainly consist of and will introduce a person's name, or maybe city's name, or maybe any technical term, or any book title, any research names, place, situations, or concept. Okay, this sentence will not be dependent on other sentences or clauses of any kind of information. I have already spoken about that, right? um Another hint for the independent sentence, or just to solve the reorder paragraph, is the number one is the pronoun rule. That is again very, very, very important one. When we say a pronoun rule, it will never refer back to any other sentence or textbook. Like for example, when I said that apple is a fruit, it tastes really sweet. So when I'm saying it tastes really sweet, so what tastes really sweet? When there is a pronoun in the sentence, it cannot be your introduction sentence, or it cannot be your independent sentence. That means it cannot come on the very first point. It cannot take the it cannot take the place of the very first sentence. So this is again a very, very simple thing, and which I've already explained here. Normally, the first sentence will not start any contradicting transition words like firstly, secondly, however, therefore, as well as furthermore, additionally, but, because, something like that. Okay, so there should not be, normally first sentence will not start like, furthermore, I want to add that apple looks like maybe pear, or maybe something like that, right? So the point in here is that we really need to understand the part that these sentences, the independent sentences, will not start with or any of these kind of, like, contradicting transitions. Acronym rule, of course, rule of articles, and then these are the things we really need to make sure that we know what are the acronym rules. If there is any acronym or short form, for example, USA, UK, UNO, all these things are the acronyms, right? The short forms. So anything, like for example, if someone is saying United States of America was established in this year, USA is now the richest country in the world. Like, if we are saying something like that, you need to understand that that person should have given a whole word firstly, and then the person can only use acronyms of abbreviations after that. So we really need to understand that part. So acronym cannot come into the independent sentence, and we cannot start our paragraph from that acronym sentence, right? So again, a sentence with an acronym cannot be your independent sentence. So this is another very amazing trick that I wanted to tell. Rules of articles. Two types of articles include indefinite and n, and definite article, that is the, right, or the, whoever wants to pronounce whatever way. Sentences with definite articles and n will always come before the sentences with definite articles, such as the. Now, scenario one. Scenario one is like, I watched a movie last night, or the movie was very good, right? This is a scenario one. Or maybe the scenario two, we can say, is like, I watched the movie last night. Or maybe sentence two can be, movie was very good. So these are the things that we really need to make sure that how we can see any sort of articles when we are solving this reorder paragraph again. Time, periods, and dates. Time indicating words as well as dates or year can give you an idea of the sequence of the series of different events. But now we really need to understand, for example, if there is a sentence one, the earthquake in 2018 caused no damage to the houses in India. Sentence two is, there was a similar earthquake in 2010, but the earthquake in 1991 destroyed 80,000 houses across India. Now, we all need to understand that things not always go how we want. For example, you cannot always say, okay, 1991 should come first, and then 2010, and then 2018. It never works like that. You have to understand that what sort of picturization that they really want to convey here. That is very, very important. I will go a little bit in detail with this time period and things, and then we'll give you few more hints before I end this live session. But right now, I would like to go on a break, and then I'll come back, and then we'll discuss more onto this. Okay, thank you. Hello, guys, welcome back. So, today we are talking about our reading section, and in reading section, more importantly, we are talking about our reorder paragraphs, which are very, very important and plays a vital role when we are talking about reading section and to take a good marks in our reading section, right? Anyways. Okay, so when I was talking about reorder paragraph, we also want to consider that how we will be putting or setting up our sentences when we are solving a reorder paragraph, right? So the number one is that we really need to see the structure of the sentences and the structure of the story that a writer wants to convey, right? So for example, if there is a time or period, so you have to understand that if they want to just go by a time to time, like for example, if they're talking about 2010 and then 15 and 20, or they want to just tell you that what is happening right now, like for example in 2022 what is happening, and what actually happened in 2022 20, and then in 1991 what actually we were expecting. So something like that, like you have to just make up your mind and just clear something in your head, that what exactly writer wants to say, right? So that is again a very, very important one. Another very, very important one, general to specific. When it comes to general to specific, that means that if there is a topic that is a general, right? So for example, if there is a research that has been done, and then what was the aim of the research, then what was the work that we have done on that research, and then what is the conclusion of that research. So that is a general to specific criteria that we really, really need to consider when we are doing any sort of reorder paragraph, right? For example, another example for general to specific is like um, we are talking about Australia, and then we are talking about Victoria, and then we are talking about Melbourne, and then we are talking about maybe Carlton, right? So there is a general to specific thing, or general to specific criteria that we really need to look forward to, and we really need to focus on that as well. Few more hints, examples, if there are any kinds of example, they will most likely come after the explanation of the topic. So for example, if there is a sentence that is coming up, like for example, apples, oranges, pear and watermelon are very comes under the category of a very sweet food fruit, right? So this cannot be your independent sentence. This can only come after that, if someone was already talking about some sort of a fruit, and then they are talking about, okay, which ones are the sweetest fruit on the earth, and then they are giving you an example that, okay, these are the fruits which are very sweet. So you have to just go from the general to specific, that okay, they are just talking about some sort of fruits, and then sweet fruits, and then the examples of sweet fruits, right? Pronoun or noun, up now pronoun will always come after a noun, as I told you already, that if I'm talking about apple and then I'm talking about it is very sweet, that means that is they are talking about noun first, and then they are talking about pronoun first, pronoun on the second hand, right? They all are the form of a subcontinent. There are seven students, like, yeah, so for example, if we say there are seven students in my class, they all are from subcontinent. So now what they are saying is that students come first, and then they all are from subcontinent. So this is again very important example that I wanted to give. General noun and specific noun. So general noun and specific noun, also we can call it like a common noun and a proper noun. Okay, there are 7 states in Australia. Western Australia is the largest, Australia's largest state. So when we are talking about just the common noun, and then we are talking about the proper noun, so all these things comes under that way as well. Transition words, when we are talking about transition words, that means we are talking about firstly, secondly, furthermore, however, but, lastly, to conclude, all these things come under like that. So now there is a golden rule. Please write it down. If you still cannot find out the independent sentence, consider each sentence and see that, can you use this sentence to start a conversation with a stranger? Sometimes the sentences are so confusing that a person cannot tell that if this is a independent sentence, or that is an independent sentence. So just try to brainstorm in your mind, that if you are talking to a stranger, will you be starting your conversation with this sentence, or that sentence, or that sentence? If you feel like, yeah, this is the sentence that I can start with, then just go for it, because this is how that we can do, right? Okay. Now there is another tips and strategies. Find the following sentence. Now we have spoken about our independent sentence a lot. Now there is a step 2. Now what is the step 2? Finding the following sentence, which after introduction, or after your independent sentence, what sentence will come after that? So the the sentence that will come in the following sentences: subject, verb and object rule. The object in the first sentence becomes a subject in the second sentence. Whatever the subject in your first sentence is, that will come the object in your, whatever the noun in your first sentence. Let's just make it that simple, that whatever the noun in your first sentence, they will only become your pronoun in your second sentence. For example, in my class there are 70 students. They all are from subcontinent. So when we are talking about students, and then we are talking about they all are from subcontinent, that means they are connecting with each other, and that is making more sense. Hope I am making sense, and hope you guys are clear that what I'm trying to say here. Okay. um Anyways, let's go with the next one: subject, verb and object rule. So there is a rule. Another rule that I wanted to tell is S plus V plus O. Guys, please write it down here. S plus V plus O. S plus V plus O is subject, is it is the person, place, idea or thing that is doing something. Like for example, the woman build a strong wall. So when we are talking about subject and then what they have done, like build, and what is the object, there is a strong wall. So that also can be your following sentence as well. Hope that is making a sense. um when we are talking about subject, yeah, so subject, verb and object rule, you can even practice at home with this strategy as well, and to know, and you will definitely get to know that okay, how to take out that following sentence from your paragraph. Golden rule for the following sentences: the next sentence will always give more information or details about the previous sentence. When I'm talking about, for example, apple is a fruit, it is very sweet. Australia grows different kind of apples. So when we are talking about apple, see how I have started giving you more specifications. It is sweet, it grows in large amount in Australia, and blah blah blah. So it always gives you more and more and more information about that particular thing. That means you can see that okay, now this is the second sentence or this is the third sentence, because now they are just elaborating or just trying to discuss it in a wider way, right? So now it is very easy to understand. So yeah, after your reorder paragraph, of course, your listening section comes in, which we will be talking in our next session. But I would definitely be recommending you guys to please go on pteclasses.com.au, pteclasses.com.au, and please try to log in there, and then you guys can do a lot of practice there. Why I'm saying that is because that I've already got so many reviews about that platform, and they are not very expensive, to be honest, and even in just 15 to $20 you will be able to see a lot of material, a lot of exam questions, a lot of videos and stuff that you will be able to see there, you will be able to watch there, and then you get a lot of idea on how to clear your exam in one go. So rather you guys just don't know about a lot about those tricks and techniques, or maybe if you are not aware of the recent exam questions and stuff, it is really really important that you guys please go there, sign up, and then start practicing from there. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment, or please feel free to message us, and then we can go from there. Yeah, great. Thank you so much guys, and I'll see you in my next video.